you were staying right on 27th and Dalton at this time, right?
Yeah,
So
2647 South Dalton. There's an apartment house, an apartment building, and a house. I lived in the house.
you were there when they were building this park. You saw the park.
I was there when people lived over there. Before the park, before they broke ground, when Tom Bradley came and they had the ceremony and said they were going to be building a park. I was there when they told the people they had to move out. I guess they bought everybody out. But there were people there. I had friends as a kid that lived there on that same land that the park is on.
And the building of that park actually ends up becoming an important landmark for the neighborhood.
The gang politics of that neighborhood was partially solidified by way of the park being built. We all hung out on Dalton Avenue, but the park was something else because we didn't have a park. So like I said before, when I was a kid, we used to go to Normandy Park. You know, by them building that park though, that solidified us having a park. So you know what I mean? And there was a big deal over that park right there. You know what I mean? That goes back to the time, when, like I just said, and when I got beat up in '78 and all that there. We was involved in that conflict then. It was a dirt field with basketball courts and tennis courts. No grass, no fences. We was fighting over a motherfucking dirt field. Literally, compared to what it is right now, it's a park right now, being what it is now as a full functioning park. Yeah, we was fighting over a fucking dirt field. We was fighting over, that's all it was. Like I say though, I say that because I remember the development. I remember the house. I remember when they were tearing the houses down, when I used to play over there in that area, when we used to play and it would rain, we playing it over on the field, and it would be a big ass hole full of water. We'd be playing, pushing each other in the water. You know what I mean? That was like I say, that was 70, man, that was around 79 back then. This is my childhood. So considering it's my childhood, my childhood is different because my childhood is integrated with my gang affiliation, growing up, because I grew up from the set. So you know what I'm saying? That makes it, that's the difference with me. When a lot of people talk about their child, I listen to people talk about their childhoods, and I think about my childhood. And I said, damn, man, from 8 years old, shit, my whole childhood, I was from the set. Even though whatever I did, I rode dirt bikes or whatever, I was still from the set. Because of the fact that, you know what I mean, I was exposed to everybody else. Then at the same time, it was in my house.
So who were your older brothers, Crazy B and K-Ray, exposed to that made them want to be from the hood?
Well, we had homies around like Psycho, Carlos Summerfield, Spade, shit, I'm trying to think. You had No-No, you had Zip, you had, man, there was a lot of them, man. Then, you know, like I said, we was around, Stoney was our neighbor. Stoney lived down the street from us. My brother actually ended up marrying Stoney's sister later on. So, you know what I mean? There was a lot of it. Like I said, the neighborhood was there. So everybody was integrating and exposed to each other already. You had the older dudes, there was the older dudes, you know what I mean? And they was doing whatever they was doing. Us as the younger group, we were looking up, but watch this. My brothers and them also were exposed to, they went to Mount Vernon, like I went to Mount Vernon. So their exposure, you know what I mean, was to the same, their exposure might have been to the group that I looked up to.
When your brothers were coming up, and they had their big homies, their older dudes, were they Hoover family? Where were the older dudes from?
We were neighborhood.
Just neighborhood.
You got to remember the thing about us, neighborhood started in 70. So there was an older tier. There was another tier of this. You understand what I mean? Before you get to us, there's another tier of this. So the thing about this is that when you're looking at this, right, there were older homies. Because you got to remember, like Red and them, Red is like, right now I'm 53, Red got to be 63 at least. Yeah. The OG homeboy, Skip Pearson, got to be about...
Almost 70, right?
He might be, I'm not sure, but something like that though. We got older homies.
Now, OG Skip, was he's Blood Alley or neighborhood?
He's one of the founding neighborhoods. I heard Skip started neighborhood from what they told me. You know what I mean? I don't know for sure, factually, but I did hear that. I'm not sure about that. But there's another whole nother tier of this. You understand what I mean? Because there's that last generation of Blood Alley in 1970 that started neighborhood.
Okay, so then it starts as neighborhood in 1970,
Right.
and how long does it just stay
independent.
neighborhood until, y'all start putting different...
Until we started getting, because in reality, the neighborhood was just an independent group because it was all about the guys in the neighborhood. The Crips was developing. The Crips was victimizing people. So the thing about the neighborhood was that the neighborhood was down with the guys that came from around the community in the neighborhood, because the simplicity of it was this. When you go to parties and you go to school or wherever you go, you up against the Crips because you're not a Crip. So the guys that stayed in the neighborhood, they all stuck together under this one premise of the fact that we got to stick together.
The Crips are known for having affiliation called neighborhood, but these cats in 1970 was neighborhood long before the Crip neighborhood.
It wasn't neighborhood blood. It was neighborhood of NH. Period. It's just NH. I remember when I moved to the neighborhood, it was NH and it was HF.
Now, would it be NH with a slash between the N and the
Or
H?
it was N-hood. I remember they showed me how to do I used to emulate the big homies. And I used to see Psych in them, and they would draw a neighborhood, and they would make a face out of it. The two O's, they would make eyes. They would make eyes out of the two O's, and they would make a total face out of it.
Thanks for watching StreetTV.net. If you're not subscribed, please hit that button below and click the bell to receive alerts and notifications. Feel free to comment below so you can give us your feedback, and be sure to watch the 2 related episodes to the right. If you want to support this platform or follow us on social media, visit the links in the description. And thanks for watching StreetTV.net.